not very much in favor of the counting of points.
Does it work for you? No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Run Through, your favorite figure skating podcast, where we talk about all the things that make us kiss, make us cry, and make us podcast yet again against all odds, every odd and evens. I'm Adam Rippon, and I'm here with the one and only Ashley Wagner. Ashley, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you so much. It feels so good to be back, and hopefully, if everything is going right, I don't sound like a robot this time.
I actually loved the idea of you being a robot. The only thing I hated was that about 45 minutes of the podcast
got cut. Actually, we're gonna bring this topic back because we had to cut out so much of the conversation, and it really hit the second that I said I don't want to see friendship on the ice, and.
Well, your mic went, we're going
to... that's not the right take. That's not a good take.
Just cut that out. Now, wait, I want to say one thing. As someone who's not a 3-time world champion, I've after having time to reflect, I think maybe part of the problem is maybe Carrie doesn't care about the Grand Prix final, which I would get if I was a 3-time world champion.
And neither of us will ever know what that's like. It's
at least in figure skating, we won't.
And there, maybe in curling,
maybe in chess.
No, I'm not smart enough for that. You might be.
I don't know.
You're savvy.
I'm street smart, and kind of famously in chess, it's more of like being board smart.
It's park smart.
Park smart.
It's park smart. I actually I would love to do that just once.
I think the people who play chess in the park aren't necessarily they're not the competitive ones, like the Queen's Gambit.
No, but they're so good. Those are the ones that are I think arguably the best. They, when people are just so good that they're not competitive, kind of like Kaori Sakamoto.
The Grand Prix final.
You just don't even have to worry because you're no, I feel really good about how good I am. I don't need titles. But now, we don't need to degrade ourselves to make this point. I really want to break down this point because I actually think the conversation that got cut out was really interesting. You can agree with us, and if you do, we love you for that. You can disagree with us, and if you do, we love you for that too. We aren't sitting on our high chairs being this is the only way to see it. But I think as two people who have been in the position of wanting something so bad, it just can feel kind of hard to watch when you don't necessarily feel like someone wants it as bad as you did. Does that make sense?
That makes complete total sense. It's almost just honoring the effort of everyone.
I want you to be friends with your competitors. That's totally fine. I just want to feel if someone beats you, you take note and you go home and you work harder. I don't want to feel it's okay. You feel okay getting beat. And Adam, the part of the conversation that I think got cut out that I actually really appreciated, you brought up the Yuzu-Javi rivalry.
Yes.
And the respect between the two. And I think you should really talk about that because that feels relevant.
When I think of these famous rivalries where it felt exciting and it felt like the stakes were high, the Yuzuru Hanyu, Javier Fernandez of sometimes Javi would win, sometimes Yuzuru would win. And you never felt like anybody was ever giving anyone an inch. You knew that both of them wanted to win. Both of them wanted to be a world champion. Both of them wanted to be an Olympic champion. But there was just this mutual respect, but also it never felt like it always felt as intense as it was supposed to be.
It felt like healthy competition.
Yes, and I felt the same way watching Yuna Kim and Mao Asada. The stakes felt so high.
And you felt the respect.
It made it even more entertaining to watch because now when I'm watching these, yes, we both have the perspective of being in the event, but we also now have the perspective of what it's like as a viewer and what do we want to watch and what's entertaining to watch.
Stakes.
It's the stakes. That's just all I want to see.
I want to feel like that something's at stake. Because watching that Grand Prix final, there was so much at stake. There was Cowrie, who's coming in as a 3-time world champion. Is she going to be upseated? What's going to happen? Is she going to be able to hold on to that title? And then you have Amber, who's been on fire this season, and she's coming into, is this going to be her big break? There is so much that's actually at stake, and it just takes away from it, at least in my opinion, as someone who is insanely competitive. It just takes away when I watch. I'm not saying you can't
Wait,
be
Ashley,
a good
I'm
sports
also
person.
not backing away from what I said because I didn't like what I saw. I'm gonna be straight up and be like, I didn't like that.
It was really frustrating to me because I do feel like this season, as far as the events go from like a competitive standpoint, like our viewpoint, I've been really underwhelmed. And then on top of that, when, we're working from like a broadcasting point of view also, and it's like we have that perspective of like what needs to happen for people to get engaged and invested in figure skating again. It's not, oh my God, all of these girlies are best friends. That's not like going to pull new fans in. It's going to be, oh my God, this competition is so intense. It's so fierce. I don't need you to be flipping your competitors off, or I don't need the violence of Nancy and Tanya. I don't need that. I'm literally looking up a quote right now from this surfing documentary that I watched, and it was about the women surfing, and I can't find it quick enough, but it's something along the lines of like, I think they might even call themselves assholes. And they're like, we're just like competitive little assholes who hate to lose. And there's something about that where I'm like, hell yeah. And that's also just my preference. That's the kind of athlete I connect with more, that I will follow their career. Like if I know you're like, I hate losing, then I'm like, oh, your career is going to be fun to watch because sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose, but you're going to be fiery and intense. And that's just the athlete that I connect with.
Kind of in the same vein of we used to be doing what people were doing that we are watching that we saw.
Yeah.
Ashley and I thought that it would be fun that since we had a lot of things to say about people's costumes, some skaters skating in pig ears, some in maybe the ugliest costumes of all time, I do feel that Ashley and we can compete with some of the worst outfits of all time, because I was like, Ashley, you know what? Sort of as a peace offering to any athlete that might be listening to this going, well, they're kind of mean.
It's character building though. Immediately when you texted me about this, I knew the costume for me that it was going to be. I think I can guess yours as well. Your least favorite.
I don't think
it might not be your ugliest, but it's your least favorite.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said.
That
my least favorite costume wouldn't be my actually ugliest.
No, because when I tell you which one I think it is, you're going to understand what I'm saying. I think
you probably won't need to explain why you think it's ugly. I think that I would agree with you, but I really want to know what you think my ugliest costume was.
Your Incredibles costume. I think it's your least favorite costume. Least favorite and ugliest are different.
Okay, but no, unfortunately,
or was it just the program?
It was everything. That was my cheapest looking costume, but
right, and that's why I thought you would hate it the most, because if anyone calls you anything harmful or hurtful, you're fine. But as soon as they call you cheap, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, it's one thing to be like poorly dressed, but it's another thing to look in a cheap dress.
Affordable.
Yes. It's one thing to be like in a bad costume. It's another thing to be in a cheap costume.
Yeah.
Because you can be in an inexpensive costume that looks nice.
Yeah.
But you can't be in a cheap costume that looks bad.
Do you know what my cheapest costume was?
I know what it was. Do you want to share what it was? Because it will be shocking.
It's shocking. My cheapest costume, and this is, when I say cheap, I mean it was maybe a fifth of the price of all of my other costumes was my white Moulin Rouge dress that I wore at Boston Worlds.
Yes, where you won a world medal. It was the most inexpensive, not cheap.
That dress couldn't catch fire if we put it on the sun.
No, it's made of the same, whatever the coating Old Navy puts over their fleece pajamas that makes them flame retardant.
PFAs in it for sure.
BPAs.
BPAs. It's bad.
No, it's all bad. No. If you were to bury that dress, it wouldn't disintegrate for another 2 million years.
Absolutely not. And then it's going to be used as fuel.
Fossil fuel.
Because it's plastic.
What? I'm going to say one thing. That dress, I think that dress was really nice. And I really liked that dress. But that's where I taught you the difference between Swarovski crystals and Austrian crystals. And I can see it in your eyes. You've forgotten. Okay, great.
Okay, wait. This is a teachable moment for two people, the listener and me. Go ahead.
So, okay, now just a bit of a disclaimer. I hope that I'm not giving bad information because this has been I've been out of the crystal game for a long time.
Honestly, we need to call up Alexa. If anyone knows her crystals, it's Alexa.
Okay, so Swarovski was like the nicest crystal that you could get. And when I say nice, it was the shiniest. When the light hit it, it was the most reflective.
Brilliant, some would even say.
I would say that. Brilliant.
Okay.
Now, Austrian, okay, I think they used the term crystal sort of in the way that if you saw something shiny, you'd call it a diamond, right? And I think that they were using glass. Now, I don't know how well-versed everyone listening is when it comes to crystal versus glass. Crystal is a heavier material than glass.
Really?
Yes. So have you ever gone...
Swarovski crystals?
No, crystal.
Oh, crystal, like the gem crystal.
Yes. Well, like when you're buying a vase, you're like, no.
Oh, yes. Like
so they're
Trophy
using
Lalique crystal.
Yes. So like Swarovski was selling crystals. Those were crystals. That was crystal. That's why the stones would make the dress so heavy. You were putting crystal on your dress.
Oh, so they weren't like plastic.
Austrian crystals were, because they were like, it's crystals. They're diamonds. It's a dress full of diamonds. And you could tell.
It's like the equivalent of like when you have like one of those little arcade like games and you put in the coin and then you get the ring that comes out of it, like crystal.
Yes. Okay, yes. Let's go with that.
Sure.
Because that's what's resonating with you. What's resonating with me is like, oh, I'm holding a Waterford crystal vase. And you're like, yes, like a dime store diamond
cheap
ring.
Trick.
But yeah, like you don't think of it as like, oh, you're putting tiny pieces of crystal. So now listen, some of you are going exactly. And some of you are going, you snotty nose little bitch. What are you talking about? Once you see them side by side, when you see glass next to crystal, you'll go, oh, I see the difference. When light is reflecting through glass, it's not as like shiny and bright as when it's reflecting through crystal. When light is reflecting through like a crystal vase, the light is almost like purple and red and yellow and orange.
Refracting?
It's refracting.
It's fracking.
To get back on subject, your white dress was covered in Austrian crystals, which I do not believe were crystal.
Dare you? You're right. It was my lightest dress, but also the most stressful dress because I definitely needed some kind of like swing stitch for my skirt. But every time I jumped, my skirt came up to my nipples and it stressed me out because it was like pulling away from my body. And you know when you're an athlete and you're like caring about things that don't matter?
Yes.
I'm like, I can't do my triple in this dress. Was it the lightest skirt I've ever worn? Yes. But I was like, if I 2-foot my jump, it's because of the skirt.
Well, no, I believe that. Well, so basically, like at the end of my career, I was only doing a costume in one silhouette, which was as tight to my body as possible because I couldn't bear the thought of anything like fluttering or flouncing about in an unorganized fashion.
What would you do if you had to wear a skirt? And like, I didn't have to wear a skirt, but I did not have the legs for a body suit. So
What would I do?
yeah.
If I had to wear a skirt, I would be showing up to the rink in a leotard and a wraparound ballerina skirt every day.
Oh,
I'd have to skate in a skirt every day.
Well, ballerina skirts sit on your waist and figure skating skirts sit on your hips. So that's not even accurate.
So maybe I would be skating in a practice dress every day like I was
Oh my God.
in an early 2000s competition.
With a t-shirt over it with a ironic phrase.
Wait, you know what? What you're saying was like, that was the
My
way that you will
training
see.
garb.
Yes, the way that you'll see like kids skate, the girls specifically, in like a pair of leggings and a t-shirt and a jacket. That used to be unacceptable. It had to be
remember-
tights and dress with a t-shirt over the dress.
T-shirt over the dress, and that was already unprofessional. I remember the first time I came in like skating leggings, and Shirley Hughes was horrified, and it was indecent. And I'm like, wait, so my flesh-toned, boot-covered, ugly tights that are insinuating bare thigh is more decent than these black skating tights?
My thick Capezio flesh-colored tights.
Mondor knit. Maybe even ribbed. Oh.
Wait, I'm gonna cry thinking of you skating in a thick flesh-colored ribbed tight.
And wearing a t-shirt that said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And it was an outline of the Czech Republic.
Oh my God. I wore this t-shirt to the rink and I was so like, oh God, it was like in the rotation that I needed to wear. I remember I had like 3 t-shirts that I always wore every week. I couldn't miss a week. One of them was this like the outline of like a lion on a brown t-shirt. I don't know why.
And you felt so fierce.
I went
strength, power,
resilience, king of the jungle. Let's just like rewind. I was 16. Okay, so another one that I felt like I really needed to wear was another ironic t-shirt, like check yourself before you wreck yourself. Only mine was I got lucky down under. This whole phrase was inside the outline of Australia.
I don't take credit for many things, and I often make fun of myself and downplay my abilities, but I want to take credit for this because I feel like I deserve this.
Okay.
Crop tops on the ice. I want to take credit for wearing crop tops on the ice during competitive practices.
Okay. If you want to take credit for that, I want to take credit for men using more mesh. Because
you should.
I think I pioneered that. Well, the shoulders.
I remember when I saw your shoulders, your let me think about it short program costume, and I was like, that's indecent.
Well, I remember when
Put those
the
away.
ISU made it a rule that the men could show their shoulders. And I remember thinking, take them out. They must come out.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that
These
wall.
shoulders. I remember you thinking how unbecoming it was of a young man to show his bare arms.
I also just realized that I had not really seen your shoulders much.
Not in a building, no.
No.
No, you saw them out and about.
In sunlight. But like under the fluorescent glow, it was shocking.
No, it was too much for you.
A lot of things during those days were too much for me, let's be honest.
Okay, but now my ugliest costume never made it out of my house. And
Oh, I didn't even consider those.
I did because you this was maybe not the first time, but it was the most memorable first time that you how do I say this? You didn't just say no. You sat me down as if I were overcoming a drug addiction. And you said, no, we're going to deal with this right now. And you sat down with me. We closed the door. We locked it. The windows were
Because you
closed,
needed
shutters
privacy.
down. And you said, no, you are not wearing these, and we are not leaving this room until you call this number. And it was to
It was
Passages
911.
Malibu. Yeah, it was a recovery center. And it was to your dressmaker at the time. And so I
Yeah.
did call her, and I did get costumes that I loved. But the worst costumes I ever had. Now, this was in the 2014 Olympic year. And I skated to Carmen for my short program. Very original at the time. And Afternoon of a Faun for my free
I
skate.
loved that program.
Well, you didn't love this costume that I'm going to explain. So these costumes, the short program was a thick, very thick, almost winter thick coat, like a bolero jacket for the short program. And it was
It was for Broadway.
well, no, it was for after the show.
It was for
when you're
winter.
signing-
It was to go outside. It was functional. Nothing on ice should be functional.
And it was like made of sequins, which I love sequins, but like if I looked at it the wrong way, I'd get like cuts.
oh my God.
And so
forgot
that
about
was the best one. The worst one of these two was the Afternoon of a Faun, where it was like an ugly brown on top, a darker ugly brown on the bottom, and then it had like leaf appliques all over it.
Yeah, for
And if you-
decency.
And for privacy. And if you pulled at the leaves at all, they fell off. It was my fault that I was ever in those costumes. When you have no money, you will end up in a brown costume with leaf appliques that
appliques.
fall off.
Well,
and
they've
then
been hot glued on.
Well, no, they were sewn, but like one single stitch.
That's so brazen.
It was brazen. Once you find yourself in that applique covered costume, you will next find yourself in a room with one of your dear friends telling you that you're not allowed to leave the house until they
Door
call
locked.
a professional. Okay, now wait. Now I need to go back to the Incredibles costume, which this program also was incredibly bad because so
well,
it
first
was just
of all,
a-
I
it
think
was
it's the theme. The theme
well,
was bad.
It was
You're
a
too-
well-intentioned idea from an ill-intentioned choreographer, okay?
Well, wasn't the intention Mad Men?
Yes.
But then why didn't you skate to Mad Men?
Ashley, this episode is over, okay? I don't know. And I remember just like,
Going
I had
with it.
time with this choreographer booked, and they were already at the rink, and we didn't have music. And finally, they were like, "I found it," and it was like we only had a few days left, and I was like, "Okay, this is it." And I just I drank the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
It was too late, and
Yeah.
instead of just going, this isn't gonna work, and I just making something up myself, which would have been better.
Or repeating a program, which is what I did.
I
You
Well,
no,
I-
but you know
I-
what? You commit. And
Yeah, I
that's
do
What
commit.
makes you you.
That's also the meanest thing you've ever said. But it's true. It is true that if it is a bad idea, but I said I was going to do it,
You're gonna
I
see
will-
it through.
yes, and I will own up to it being a bad idea, but I will also go, but I signed this deal, and I will
Yeah.
see it through to the bitter end
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not ashamed to make a mistake. I'm ashamed to be in this costume.
And every time you donned it, you just felt shame.
I felt incredible. Well, that costume that you're talking about, I only ended up wearing once because before that I was just wearing, and I say this in quotes, Mad Men looking costumes, which were just like old black shirts that I had with trouser-ish looking pants.
Yeah, it was never really a fully realized concept, I guess you could say. Was your hair blue?
Oh no, I saved that for like when I was skating better because I looked, I think, pretty classic American looking at that point. Normal haircut, normal face, bad costume.
Classic American.
You could look at me and you go, oh, he's got it all except for the talent or the jumps and the spins and the programs. But other than that,
But the face.
but the face. But then I decided to kind of go awry when the skating, when the jumps and the spins and the programs were better. Because then you could go, oh, well, what are you going to do with that cuckoo
Really
boy?
making a case for himself.
Yeah, he's making a splash. But now I'm not defending it, but I want people to know in the state of mind I was in. One, it was dark, but other than that, style-wise for the men,
That was very in style.
that was the last one-piece outfit that I think was it wasn't even acceptable, but it's one of the last one-piece outfits that I have like seen in a competition in a long time. This was like 2013. But we were just coming off of like everyone was in a one piece. You had to be in a unitard.
Any of like Evan or Johnny's costumes?
Yuzuru Hanyu was the last known human being to be in a unitard at a major international event.
I would feel like an adult baby in a unitard.
No.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're trying to say.
I would feel like sporty.
I know exactly what you're trying to say, but you do not know absolute pure and utter bliss until you've been inside of a velvet unitard.
I'm saying I think I would be so cozy.
No,
like
actually,
I wouldn't be able to be athletic.
You have no idea because the thing is what happens. It's like touch therapy where you associate the soft touch of velvet with the fear of competition. So it still invigorates you to kind of go out there and hustle.
Right, because you're just feeling the velvet brushing on your
but
skin.
There's nothing. And I stand by that, like, velvet is one of the cheapest, most beautiful, expensive looking materials.
I mean, think Mariah Bell.
I told her, get a velvet dress.
That was, when she came out, I was shocked. I gasped.
It's shocking.
And then I was like, she's not wearing makeup.
No.
She doesn't have a lip on, but she's in velvet. She's wearing Burt's Bees.
It made you forget that her ponytail came out right away. It made you forget that she wasn't even wearing hairspray, which we did talk about to kind of no avail. But it really was like there truly was no. I mean, if you think of like Johnny Weir in a one piece,
a velvet
one piece. Yevgeny Plushenko was always in a velvet one piece. Daisuke Takahashi in the like early 2000s, velvet one piece.
Austin Wagner in the early 2000s,
velvet one piece. And we started to kind of go, like, we started to stray away from that when, like, the Jeffrey Buttles started skating in the two pieces and Evan Lyschek was in Vera Wang. And we were like, okay.
Wait, but does that mean that you would have to then go, like, Leo underneath?
Are you thinking I wore, like, a slip? Like I'm in a body contour
how are you
dress?
Attaching all of that, and then how are you making sure that you don't get like panty lines? Because like if I have panty lines, you can't really tell because it's against my illusion tights to insinuate bare leg. So like you don't see panty lines because it's dress then butt.
So this leads me to my next discovery in costuming was that
the dance belt.
The dance belt. Now, the dance belt, for those who are not well versed in men's sportwear, it's where sportwear meets lingerie meets a very long day at the office. And let me so just I want you to imagine a Ken doll without any clothes, and that's kind of the goal of what a dance belt is. It's
to create the illusion of bulge without an understanding of how you accomplished it.
Yes, and it's not even, you're not trying to create bulge. You're just
smoothing.
You're trying to create round shape.
So it's not like to the left or the right.
Well, so that you're not creating kind of 3 shapes. Do you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be too.
We don't want to be crass.
No, I don't want to be crass. This is a family podcast.
Right.
So basically, the dance belt is so that it creates sort of one rounded shape instead of one cylinder and 2 sort of out
Instead
to
of a
lunch.
twig and berries, it's just a branch.
It's a trunk.
It's a trunk.
Yeah. And so I
Yeah.
would wear a dance belt because then, like, you know, what's embarrassing for girls is that, like, when they're wearing like a full seated panty and you can see that coming out from the panty of the dress. When a girl's wearing like, you've never seen a girl wearing underwear that's like peeking out from her
Oh, you
dress?
just used panty twice to describe 2 different things.
Well, I was describing a panty and then I was describing the panty, like the royal panty.
Oh my God, I hate the word panty.
I'm sorry. What should I
No,
say?
it's okay.
Bloomers? What would you like better?
Honestly,
Bloomers.
no. When you see a girlie's underwear hanging out the side of her dress, that's when it's time for someone to pull her aside. And Safe Sport has made this a bit more complicated, as it should. But that's when you say it's time for a song.
Okay, but this is where something that I think like a coach really should step in, and a coach should be like,
if a parent is,
it's etiquette. Also, a
say that
parent,
there's only a dad. Like, dad shouldn't have to talk about, like, this is sportswear.
or how would they know? If you weren't a
don't.
skater, how would you know that the tights are the underwear? Is that right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends on the skater.
Were they?
Chafing's a thing. Similar to
I
your
am
dance
lost.
belt, like
I'm going to
someti-
say that I am lost right now.
Are you just saying, like,
I thought that you were just wearing
just tights and then dress?
What were
Some
you-
people do that.
What were you doing?
I love an extra layer. I do thong tights dress.
So you were doing the
Y'all
female...
didn't know what you were getting.
No.
I do the female dance belt.
Yes. Which is much thinner than the male dance belt. It doesn't
No
have that
padding.
giant... yeah, it doesn't
I am
have that
trying to
thick
avoid
cotton
bulge.
panel. Yeah.
No trunk.
Okay.
Oh, I love our podcast.
I guess that would make the most sense.
But no, but like, and if someone's listening to this and they're like, wait, am I weird? I don't wear underwear. No, that's not weird. This is a personal choice.
Right. If you're a
I
girl,
just-
if you are a boy, I'm telling you right now, you are one flying sit spin away from a hospital visit. And I say that with no humor.
It's serious.
It's
serious.
serious. It's serious. Wear the proper undergarments. Listen to me now and heed my warning. And not because I am injured or afflicted, because I was told very seriously where
This could go poorly.
This could go poorly. And I had a few near experiences of going, that's why they tell you not to wear your Old Navy boxers to the rink.
Yeah.
Now, on that note,
You all didn't quite feel prepared for knowing the intimate details of our undergarments in competition, but now you do.
but this
I
is
hope you feel
also-
informed. This is, to me, this is things that people need to know.
No, wait, Ashley, I think something else people need to know is tight etiquette. So when it comes to tights,
I need to talk about this
Because-
I'm adjusting in my seat.
now,
Tights are atrocious.
so because I know everything I know about tights from
Because of
you,
me.
which I had then relayed to my Mariah Bell, my
Okay.
Mariah Bell. Now
So-
tell the audience tight etiquette at the highest level.
Okay, so
People will be shocked.
Entry-level-
You will be shocked when you learn what you're about to learn.
entry-level tights, people immediately go, I need over the boot because someone has told you that it's going to make your legs look longer. And I'm here to tell you right now that chunky brick at the end of your foot that is covered by tight, the illusion is not being accomplished.
It's lost.
It's lost. It makes you look like you have a club foot. It really does. So there's that. Now, next up, you go traditional Mondor, you go Capizio, and you're going to get suntan because light suntan is really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to special order it often.
Now, wait. I'm so sorry to stop you. Suntan is a color of tight.
It's the color.
So you're okay. I just wanted to kind of clarify for myself and for the other listeners who aren't well versed in the Capezio color line. Sun-kissed is the color.
So the Mondor. The
Okay.
Mondor tights that everyone gets, they're called sun-kissed.
And I think that
Now-
this kind of goes across the board of it doesn't matter your color. Black, white, anything. Whatever your skin tone is, it doesn't matter. Your legs are sun-kissed. That
is the universal color
legs
that you
do
see
not
out on the
see color.
Now,
Legs
here's
only
the-
see one color, and it's the
sun-kissed.
sun-kissed.
Now, an important thing to remember is that the competitive season goes from October to March.
Mhm.
April if you're feeling crazy. No one's legs are sun-kissed in those months. So no one matches those tights.
Mm-hmm.
No one. So then my next step after I was like, I feel like I have orange legs and
Mhm.
white body. I was like, there's got to be another skin tone.
Mhm.
And it's atrocious, the lack of variety in tight skin tones. It's
Mhm.
so hard for any black and brown skaters to find tights at their own that actually matches their skin. So like my problem is not an actual problem compared to the problem of any skater that isn't a traditional white skater. Now, I was like, maybe I can find a lighter version. So I found light suntan, but you could only find it once in a blue moon. And so when I found light suntan,
which is crazy because I will go out on a limb and go, the majority of the people at these local competitions grabbing 5 more pairs of tights are, I would say, light sun-kissed.
and but they're not. No one is light sun-kissed either. Because that just makes you light orange. Unripe. But then I started on Stars on Ice. And I was like, ooh, because they'll give you your tights because they want everyone to match, which is also a problem because everyone gets the same color of tights. But
They get diet light sun-kissed.
I'm like, ooh, the denier on this tight, it's so thin. It's like almost, and it wasn't what I ended up buying for myself for the rest of my career, but it was like a specialty brand of Mondor where the like weave was not as tight. So it was way more see-through. Finally, I said, I can get this on a budget because I don't want to be spending $40 on tights. And I went to my Walgreens and I march right up to the pantyhose.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn the hard way. You have to search for a very specific kind of pantyhose because most people who are wearing pantyhose, let's be honest, they're typically an older generation and they like a little control in their tummy, right? They want a little. So there's a lot of control tops.
I didn't even think of this.
Yes. So they have control tops and then they also like have like thicker weaves around your thighs to suck them in. So then it looks like you're wearing shorts.
Which is arguably worse than underwear peeking out from bloomers.
So much worse because then you're wearing tights, shorts, dress.
Stomach control.
But your tummy snatched. So you have to go for sheer panty, no control top, which now that I've said sheer panty, I hope you understand why for me, I said, I'm going to wear a little insurance.
Yes. No, now I get it.
I just didn't want lip seam lip.
You
TV.
you didn't want to go out there without an insurance policy. And honesty
some
is the
insurance.
best policy.
And a no sheer or sheer panty.
Mm-hmm.
No insurance.
And that did shock me because, we heard the lure of when we started skating, Surya Bonale.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, she doesn't skate in tights. She just puts Vaseline on her legs.
So bold.
But that's why her legs were the only legs of the 1990s that matched her arms.
Well, also she was like, I can't find any black tights. I guess I'm just going to skate without them.
Yes. which
is
also
horrifying.
It's horrifying, but that's why she looked the best. Like she always had.
She looked so like muscular and like
Yes.
her legs were so defined, and I thought she looked amazing.
Yes. And then I remember somebody talking about like, oh yeah, it's because she doesn't wear tights. She just wears Vaseline, which I couldn't do it.
I don't know if I would ever make myself like stickier before going out and skating.
Slicker.
I mean, I guess like, but I just like the tackiness of Vaseline.
It's tacky for sure.
Not like tacky as in like bad taste, but like
no, like tacky as like touch.
Yeah, touchy tacky.
Yeah, because it looked great. Like it looks
so
great.
Good. Yeah. I would have to lube myself up if I were to ever do that though. So I get it because I've got some ashy dry legs. So I get it.
I'm trying to think of like what else, but yeah, that really shocked me when it was like, oh my God, because I remember you writing out a full description. You had gone to a competition and I was leaving the next day for the same one. And you were like, you need to go to a CVS for me. I forgot something really important. And it was like the full description of exactly the kind of
so
nylons.
Specific. It's so specific.
And I was like, you wear these? These are so thin.
Yeah. But you should be able to see freckles through your tights. Because if you can see freckles, you can see leg definition. If you are wearing Mondor ribbed knit tights, I'm sorry, I'm not going to see those muscles that you worked so hard to create. I'm just going to see, you have to be able to see freckle.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another costume that would be like noteworthy. I mean, I had some really bad, I think stylistically, I really struggled of should the hair be natural? Should the hair be free?
Should the brows be bold? Should the brows be tweezed? Oh my God.
Now, I am saying this. Okay, I'm just going to say it.
Say it.
I'm going to get canceled for this, and I deserve it. Do not search this. Skate America, Adam Rippon, 2008. Do not search it. I will sue you. And I say this to everyone and Ashley, who I can see her eyes. They look like 2 stars. She's smiling ear to ear, searching it right now.
I don't need to search it because it's honestly in the Rolodex that exists in my head. That's the picture that comes up when I think of you.
Now, I tanned myself the color Mondor Skin Kiss. Mondor Sun Kissed, yes. And my hair looks like I survived an electrocution. And my eyebrows, and I'm going to tell you, right before this competition is where I discovered the tweezers from the Tweezer Man Company. Not your cheap little eyebrow tweezers at the counter at CVS. Tweezer Man tweezers, if you know, you know. You got to go back to where the nail polishes are and the nail files are. It's in the belly of the pharmaceutical beast. And so this is where I found the tweezers. And if you've never tweezed your eyebrows before, you're in for a wild and wicked journey. It's crazy how one hair can help define the whole face. And if you've ever over-tweezed, you'll realize that one hair can fully define the entire human face. And when I say, I just want to walk through the process of how one tweezes their eyebrows for the first time. It starts out as, well, a lot of these don't belong where they are, which is true. It starts with a fact, okay? And it quickly heads to fiction. Because it starts with fact where you go, well, I don't need hair that goes into the hairline. Like, we can get rid of these, and I don't need hair that drops into the lobe of my eyelid. Okay? Mm-hmm. So those have to go so that we
those regions are covered.
Yeah. Those regions are like the human body hasn't fully kind of flushed them out of its genetic cycle. So they still show up, and we have to teach the body, do not put hair there. Please leave this spot alone. So we get rid of those first. And then we go, wouldn't the eye be so beautifully framed with just a slight arch? And then you tweeze a little bit. Now, listen to me very carefully. It starts with one hair that's like closer to the eyeball than it should be. And you go, oh, that looks nice. And your first problem is that you don't alternate between brow. You should do one hair on one on the other, instead of perfecting the one brow. Because once you perfect it, you walk away from the mirror and you look at yourself and you go, I look like Gwen Stefani from the debut of No Doubt. I'm in Anaheim, California. I'm just a girl. And in a few years, I'm going to tell everyone I am Japanese. And you're not realizing that that's happening, because then you look over at the other brow and you go, it's so unruly. Right. Don't we need some regulations? Don't we need some maintenance?
Ground rules.
And you go over and you're so, at this point, numb to the experience of what you had just done to the other side of your face. And you tweeze that and you take, there's one hair. And now again, the brows aren't even. Right, no brow has the same hair pattern.
They're sisters, right?
They
Not
are
twins.
Adopted cousins from different families. And when you look over at the other one, you see hair that shouldn't be there. And if you remember correctly from tweezing the first brow, that hair wasn't there. And you take it off, but you didn't realize it was about an inch long. So it was actually most of the brow. And you take that off. And so then you have to do a little cleanup to kind of cover up your mess. And then you walk away and you see that side of your face and you go, I am Pamela Anderson in Baywatch. And things are looking tough. And you look at yourself dead straight and you look like Edith Piaf. And it's just two lines.
Ba-dum.
And that's kind of how it goes.
How many more thin-browed people can you name?
Oh, give me how long
Betty
do we
Boop?
have? Betty Boop. I mean, I could never stop. I was kind of left in that situation. And then instead of going, okay, we have time to recover, we have time to kind of let this go, you go, no, I have to get on a plane to Everett, Washington, because Skate America is in a few hours. And the orange of my skin is just done marinating. I'm ready to take that shower to wash off the brown so that I can show the orange. And then you show your thin brow that makes you look
beautiful.
That's it. Beautiful.
Afraid. Yeah. Shocked.
Disenchanted.
Yeah.
And that is the brow that I had from the middle of 2008 to the end of 2008. And I do blame the Tweezer Man company, but I still use Tweezer Man tweezers to this day. They are the best ones.
Wait, did I ever tell you about Marissa Castelli tweezing my eyebrows for the first time?
Did I ever tell you about Marissa Castelli tweezing my eyebrows for the first time?
It happened on the same day, I think.
So, mine happened in Croatia.
Then mine didn't, because I've never been there. Okay. But so I was so excited to have Marissa tweeze my brows, because if anyone has seen her face,
the best brows.
She has the most stunningly perfect, thick Italian brows you have ever seen.
Yes.
And so obviously, instead of thinking about my own genetics as a sun-kissed legged
kind
of Norwegian woman who, not known for thick hair growth, I just assumed she was going to be able to make me look like her. Now, my brows are in a straight line across my face, which when I got my makeup done for my wedding, the woman goes, "Oh, you have an Asian brow." And I said, "That sounds racist." What?
Oh, but that makes total sense. Yes,
I didn't know that that's a thing. Like, they're just like straight.
I don't
have an arch in sight.
The reason I'm saying that makes sense is like I think of like the Asian girls I know, if I can like close my eyes and
straight brow.
Yes.
See, I'd never thought of that. And then she said it and I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. But back to Marissa Castelli, I obviously think that instead of her transforming my Asian brow, she's going to give me an Italian brow.
Right.
So she starts plucking and she's not there for very long. She goes, "Oh, we need to stop." I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" She goes, you need these hairs for coverage. And I said, what? She goes, if I remove this, you're not going to look like you have brows. Like my brow hairs are functioning as a comb over. Because I don't have thick brows. I have long hairs.
They're working as a team.
Working as a team. So she stopped. She cut me off. She said, I can't do this to you. You need all these hairs.
Well, so wait. I went into recovery for a long time with the
Good.
brows. So after 2008, I really didn't touch them because someone came to me and they said, you do not need to look like this.
Yeah,
And,
it doesn't have to be this way.
Right. Like, I don't even think it was you because you met me with those brows and you went,
And
it
I
just is that way.
I loved you nonetheless.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I said, I need to take a break from this. And the moment I said, okay, I think I'm ready to hop back on the Tweezerman horse was I was at the Golden Spin competition in Croatia and Marissa Castelli was there. And I said, Marissa, will you do my eyebrows? And I laid on the bed and she goes, all right, let's do this. And she took a pair of little sewing scissors.
Yep. She pulled out the scissors for
spoolie.
me too and said, I can't use these.
A spoolie and the brows. And she's the person I learned that she goes, why are these hairs going back into your hairline? There should be a difference between your brow and your hair. And I went, first of all, this appointment is over and you're not getting paid. And second of all, can you repeat that? What do you mean?
Yeah, what did she mean?
Well, I guess I had like little like baby hairs going from my brow into my hairline. And then the thing is, Ashley, once she cut a few hairs and she plucked a few hairs, I looked at myself and I went, I am beautiful, finally. I'm so gorgeous.
I've never seen skin there.
I
only
didn't know there
hair.
was skin there. I was afraid if the hair went, the skin wouldn't show. And I was afraid of nothing. But so it did take a long time. It took 7 years before I plucked my brows again.
And Marissa Castelli has been plucking your brow ever since. You fly to Providence, Rhode Island and get her to
Every 3
pluck your
weeks.
brows every 3 weeks.
Yes.
Um,
I think
Wow.
maybe we have time for one more costume.
I haven't given you
Story.
my ugliest.
Oh, wow.
And you don't agree with what I think is the ugliest.
Okay.
To me, it can only be described as a piece of dirty tissue paper.
I know exactly. Go on.
Spartacus 2008/9 season.
No, I know, but you had two costumes that I know that you look back on and you were like, the short program that year was Somewhere in Time, and you were like,
Now I look back and I'm like, this is elegant. I had wings.
you had wings.
I had wings, they fluttered, and upon reflection, I'm like, that was a vibe. It was very classic.
It was very 2008.
It was just, okay, I remember I had a really controlling boyfriend at that point too. Surprise, surprise. Like I was 18 and dating a guy who was a piece of shit.
You had a controlling boyfriend when you wore your arguably most naked dress ever?
Yeah, and we got in a fight over it.
Okay. Go on.
Can you believe?
I mean-
remember going home and being like, you're going to hate it. But I promise it's for sport. And I felt like I looked like, I'll say it, a whore.
A harlatan?
A harlatan. And
No, but wait,
I
I'm
think
gonna
the
say-
storyline is that, so it was very accurate.
But I'm going to say, I know it's your least favorite, but like, I remember when you skated in it, it was so shocking in not like a bad way. Like it was shocking that, oh my God, because this was like not
I
shortly.
only had appliques on my nipples.
I know, but I loved it because it was just sort of, it was like you needed to do this because before this you were
Because
like,
after that, I dumped the boyfriend.
right.
So I did need to do it.
No, but also before that, you were like in your classic 1980s dress with like makeup meant eyeliner and hair meant dippity-doo in a ponytail that was curled, and you were like taking flights in khaki pants and a polo because
Oh
you
my
needed
God, that's
to be
right. Because Miss Hughes was like, if you travel in anything other than a khaki,
mm-hmm.
you're trash.
Yes. So like this is so you had to kind of redefine who you were as a woman, because at that point you were training to be a country club owner's wife.
Wife. Still, yes, it's wife. Owner's wife.
Wife. And now you were training to be the owner of a red light district country.
Share.
Period.
In
Country.
burlesque.
Prague. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, that it served its purpose. And looking back, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I needed it. I also think there's something to be said about watching skaters, and one season they kind of look like girls, and then all of a sudden they look like women in the way that they're skating and they can just like carry themselves in a more mature way, and that kind of pushed me into that zone.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely did what it needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't have gone with like brown. I don't think I'm very excited by brown on the ice unless it's Olivia
Jason
Smart's
Brown.
costume. And Jason Brown.
But you know what? The brown was effective because it was all these like natural nude tones, which just made it more naked, which is also why you pull away from it. Because you went, I'm
naked.
Please clothe me.
I'm confident, but not like naked in public confident. Although, as two people who have done the body shoot.
Yes.
I guess neither of us have a leg to stand on when it comes to nudity in public spaces.
No, but the body shoot is so
respectful.
And that costume was so disrespectful. With the body shoot, I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder what this will be like. And I just became so numb to seeing my wiener on film at that point.
Yeah. They asked me to do a Beelman, and I said,
oh my God.
I know. They're like, just try it out. And I was like, you're not going to get the picture you want.
Yes.
And then, because it's very collaborative, right? Like they let you come back and see your body. They want you to feel good. So I got to see myself in a way I've never seen myself before.
There was never a point in doing the body shoot that I was like, this feels, because you're like experimenting with what will work because
shapes. You're making shapes.
Because also the idea is that they don't edit anything, right? Like,
wait, one of their ideas. Okay, the inspiration, I believe it's a Christy Yamaguchi Got Milk. And she's on like a milk carton.
No.
And her legs are up in the air and she's bending over backwards and it's cutesy. It's like Got Milk. They have me butt-ass naked, legs up in the air on a box, bending backwards. And I said, I'll do it once and you're going to see that this is not it. Didn't make the cut.
I'm trying to think of, because like for every one good shot, like, because I think they immediately were like, let's try to do a jump. And I went, no, I can guarantee you nothing's going to be where you want it.
You could do more though, because everything I did had to be back.
Oh, right. Because the breast on a woman is offensive.
Indecent.
It's indecent. It should be covered.
Yeah. So that's why it was like split jump, spiral, Beelman.
The Beelman is crazy though.
I was like, you're gonna see too much.
That is like, there's no safe angle to see the nude Ashley Wagner Beelman, is there?
No. And like G-force and boobs.
No. Oh God, no. That's why the female chest is despicable.
Disgusting.
No, I'm going to tell you what's disgusting.
You guys had no idea what you were in for this episode.
No. We're
body shaming ourselves.
What's insane is what happens to the male genitalia in a camel spin without any sort of
containment.
Yes. You go, oh my God.
I had no idea.
It looks like the body exhibit. You know when you see the body exhibit and it's like the beautiful female body is like gorgeous, and then they show you like the male body without any flesh, and you're like, why are the balls on the ground rolled out like an extension cord trying to plug something in at the wall? oh my God, we need the sack. The sack actually keeps all of the wiring together. It's like a utility pouch. And we need that. And I'm watching and I'm looking at myself in a camel spin and I'm going, it's all pressed up in a very unflattering way. It looks like if you got a Costco hot dog and you threw it right on the ground. It does. It looks like you went to Costco. You go, yeah, I'll put ketchup and mustard and relish on it. You go, thank you. And you throw it right at the wall.
$1.99.
It's $1.50. You throw it right at the wall and you go, oh my God. And just take a picture of that really quick. And that's exactly what the male genitalia without restriction looks like in a camel spin.
No regrets, though. Really fun. I have that bathrobe. I don't know what to do with it.
And then you'll wear it when you do the body shoot again. When we do it, when we commission someone to do our own body shoot and we're both naked, laying on a box, legs up.
Yeah. Absolutely. On that note,
I think this was a fun episode that had nothing to do with anything. But this was sort of like, you know what? If they're going to talk shop, they have to back it up.
We'll talk shop.
And no one will shop the hell out of us
no
like
one's
us.
Gonna make fun of us more than us.
Yes.
So.
And that because we're team players.
Yeah.
And
just not here for team sport.
No, we're here for individual sport.
Not good sport either.
No, bad.
But safe sport.
Yes. Good.
Good, safe sport.
Now, Ashley, when it comes to this is the end of the year. We're getting towards the end of the year and the holidays. So we are thinking of our next episode will be a New Year's episode. We're going to take the next week off. We'll have an episode together for New Year's. And then we'll be back in the new year for our pre-nationals episode.
I think we can tease you guys a little tease for you.
Yeah, we have a gift.
We have a gift, and you'll just have to listen for your gift.
Yes. And it's also a gift for us, too.
It's a gift for us, too. But we're really excited about this gift. It's a gift for one, a gift for all.
Until then, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.